Hello everyone, we shall discuss module 1 single phase transformers. So what transformers are? Transformers are basically static devices which transforms power from one electric circuit to the another electric circuit without changing any frequency. You can control desired level of voltage as well as current. Okay, this is the definition of single phase transformers or any transformers. So this is the construction of your single phase transformer. You can see this is the primary circuit and this is the secondary circuit, and primary circuit is made up of N1 number of turns and secondary circuit is made up of N2 number of turns. Okay, again AC supply is given to the primary winding and load is connected in the secondary winding. Okay, so this is the construction, general construction. And now let us see the working principle of transformers. Okay, working principle of transformers. Transformer works on, basically, first of all you need to remember that it works only on AC supply and not DC supply. Okay, so when I give AC supply to the primary winding, so what happens? As we know that AC is sinusoidal, so if the voltage varies, the current also varies. If the voltage and current varies, then flux also varies continuously. Okay, due to the change in the flux, what happens? There gets induces EMF as per the Faraday's electromagnetic induction in the primary circuit here. So when current starts to flow here, what happens? EMF gets induced. Why EMF gets induced? Because Faraday's law states whenever magnetic flux linked with the circuit changes, means whenever the flux changes in the circuit, an EMF gets easily induced in the circuit. Okay, and again, so this what happens? There again, there is a flux which travels all along the path of the magnetic core like this. Okay, so this flux will interact with this windings. I should remember that this flux is variable. Okay, and this variable flux links with this circuit, that is secondary circuit. So that's why what happens? EMF E2 gets induces in the secondary circuit, and this EMF E2 drives current I2. Can call this current as I2 in the secondary circuit. So your transformer works on the principle of Faraday's electromagnetic induction when AC supply is applied to any of the windings, either be primary or secondary. Okay, so let us understand this more better through a video. Okay, and remember these magnetic core are lamination type, thin lamination. They are staggered, they are sandwiched tightly with each other so that can ease the flow of magnetic flux in the magnetic core. Okay, like I said, you can see this is the magnetic core of maybe shell or core, whatever it is. Don't bother about which type of transformer it is. You can see the lamination, it's E as well as I type. Okay, individual like this, lamination are what? Staggered with respect to each other tightly so that it will ease the flow of magnetic flux through the core. Okay, like I said, we shall understand better with the help of a video how transformer works. Here is a video, you can see. See, this is the three-phase transformer. You can see this is a single phase, two phase, three phase. Anyhow, we are working on single phase. Don't bother about that. Just we are concentrating on the working. So this is the one of the coils turns. You can see as the current flows for every half cycle, so that what happens? The flux changes direction for every half cycle. You can see north, sometimes it will be up as well as south, sometimes it will be up and down. Okay, so this, what does it mean? The change of the arrow means the flux is varying. Flux is continuously changing its direction for every half cycle. Okay, due to this, what happens? There creates an EMF or flux. This is the flux surrounding the coil. So this is how the flux surrounds the coil. Okay, like how the current direction changes, the flux also will change the direction. You can see the arrow mark is going to change. Sometimes it will be upward, sometimes it will be downward direction. North, south, north, south. So whenever I bring out another coil over here, so what happens? This flux will link with this coil so that EMF gets induced in this E2 as well. You can see, like I said, this is the flux traveling in the magnetic core. You can see the direction is changing here when the AC input changes. So due to this, what happens? EMF gets induced here, E2. Here it is E1, it is EMF not shown here, but E2 gets induced over here. Okay. And this EMF2, what it does, it will drive the load current. You can see it drives the load current E2. Okay. Now let us come to the construction details of transformer. There are basically two types of transformers. One is core type, other one is shell type. Okay, so let us see first core type transformer. First, you should understand why this core type is called as core type, right? So here, remember, core type, the name has come because winding is surrounding the core. You can see the primary winding as well as secondary winding. Here, winding is surrounding the core, or you can say winding is wounded around the core, so it is called as core type. Okay, and we shall see why it is called shell type while discussing that particular topic. Okay, it is very much similar to the earlier diagram. You can see the primary windings and they are laminated to each other with the laminations. Okay, and again this is the magnetic core, they are staggered with the thin laminations. Like I said, same thing is for this as well. Okay, and here this type of transformer has advantages of having effective cooling as well as easy maintenance. Okay, and usually such type of transformers are used for low voltage applications. Okay, and this is, can see here we have wound low voltage as well as high voltage on both of the limbs. You can see low voltage is wound closer, that is nearer to the core, as well as high voltage winding is wound above the low voltage winding. Okay, the reason why we are doing first low voltage inside is because due to the insulation, as we need less insulation for low voltage winding, so the low voltage winding is wound first. Okay, if you wound high voltage first here, then we may need good insulating property material as insulator. So to avoid that and all, to keep the cost of the transformer less and all, so what we are going to do is first we are wounding low voltage winding near to the core and as well as high voltage above the low voltage winding. One thing, again, two things we have left out here. The one thing is low voltage insulation as well as high voltage insulation. Low voltage insulation is the insulation, that's what I said, present between magnetic core as well as the low voltage winding, whereas high voltage insulation is present between low voltage winding as well as high voltage winding. Now coming to shell type of transformer. Okay, here let us see why it is called as shell type of transformer. Here you can see this is the core. Okay, you can see the winding is wound at the central limb here. Here it is very much clear here. Winding is wound at the central limb here. So here what you can see, the core, okay, or you can call it as shell. Here shell is surrounding the winding. Yes or not? You can see shell is surrounding the winding, so it is called as shell type of transformer. Okay. In earlier case, what happened there? Windings were surrounding the core, so it was called as core type of transformer. Here shell is surrounding the windings, so it is called as shell type of transformer. And here also same, low voltage coil, high voltage coil. You can see on the central limb itself will get primary as well as secondary winding, but in the core type what we were having, primary winding on the other limb as well as secondary winding was on the other limb, but here primary winding, secondary winding are present on the central limb. Okay, and again same thing, here also they are cylindrically wound, again laminated, and again between low voltage and high voltage there are insulation present. Okay, the same thing as we learned in the case of core type, here also it is same. And here one thing you need to remember, here natural cooling is not possible. Okay, whereas in case of core type, there was natural cooling was possible. Here natural cooling is not possible. Again, maintenance is bit difficult here, because as we know that primary winding and secondary winding are wound on the same limb, so large number of lamination has to be removed for maintenance purpose and all, so it is a bit difficult. And again, shell type of transformers are used for medium as well as high voltage applications. Okay. Now coming to the EMF equation of transformer. Okay, like I said, already learned here, where it is, yeah, this is the voltage V1. Just remember this voltage V1. Here it is E1, here it is E2, and here it is V2. V1, E1, E2, V2. E2 is the EMF at the second winding, and V2 is the voltage across the load, and V1 is the AC supply voltage, and I1 be the primary current and I2 be the secondary current. Okay, and this is the sinusoidal waveform, that is AC voltage applied at the primary winding. With this knowledge, we shall learn EMF equation of transformer. Okay, like I said, V1 is the primary AC voltage, like I told you, shown you earlier. Okay, and which circulates the flux. We saw the flux was circulating in the core, and so EMF gets induced in primary winding, like I told you. Number of terms N1, and similarly E2 is the EMF produced in secondary winding, and N2 is the number of terms in the secondary winding. So let us first write average EMF per turn. See, each turn will contribute some amount of flux. Like this we have many number of turns. So for a derivation sake, we shall consider only one turn. So average EMF per turn, one turn is defined by d phi by dt. Why it is d phi by dt? Because as we know that flux is continuously changing with respect to time. So whatever contribution is made at that particular instant of time, we are defining it as d phi by dt. Okay, and we know that flux is maximum at 1/4 of cycle, right? Flux is maximum at the 1/4 of cycle, where flux varies from 0 to 5m, where 5m is the maximum flux, and it is occurring at 1/4 of cycle, or also you can write it as t by 4 seconds, at t by 4 seconds. How 1/4 of cycle? Let us see here, coming to this waveform again. So this is the primary voltage, you can see from here to here it is half, again from here to here it is half, so this completes a on whole cycle, right? Since we are bothered about where you can see flux is maximum, okay, though it is primary voltage, both are in proportional, no need to bother. Okay, you can see flux is maximum at this particular part as well as this particular part. Since we are only discussing positive half cycle, so we will neglect or ignore the negative half cycle. You can see at the positive half cycle, at this particular part, what flux is maximum. So it is 0, half, 1/4, half, and here it is 3/4, and here it is 1. So 0, 1/4, half, 3/4, 3 by 4, and here it is 1. So one thing we came to know that at 1/4 cycle the flux is maximum. Okay, so that's why means the flux varies from 0 to 5m. So flux here is 0 and flux here is maximum. So from 0 to 5m it takes how much? It takes around 1/4 of cycle, or you can call it as t by 4th of cycle of the total time t, because t is the total time of the one full cycle, so it is t by 4th. Okay, t by 4 the flux is maximum. With that knowledge, okay, so that's why it is called as flux is pure sinusoidal with the maximum flux at 1/4 of cycle, that is it varies from 0 to 5m in t by 4 seconds. Okay, this is I think all clear. Okay, why it is d phi by dt and all. Now coming to this, so we know that d phi by dt, how it can be written in another manner, as d phi is what? Rate of change of flux, right? Rate of change of flux from where? From maximum to, I mean from 0 to maximum, so 5m minus 0. Okay, so flux is changed, right, from 0 to maximum, so I'm taking the amount of flux, how much flux is changed with that particular time. So from 0 to 5m, so the net flux you can call. Okay, net flux is what? 5m minus 0. And coming to the time, and how much time has taken to reach from 0 to 5m? It is t by 4. Okay, so that's why it can be written as the net flux, that is 5m minus 0 divided by t by 4. But we know that t is equal to 1 by f, because you know frequency as well as time is related inversely proportional. So what I can do here is I can substitute T is equal to 1 by F. So what happens here? This 4 goes up, F goes up. So finally it will be 4F